One of the things that we always hear is, I just don't love her anymore. I just don't love him anymore. I don't feel in love with him anymore. And this is a reason that people end up getting divorced, because they think, and I'm going to tell you right now, those people who are divorced, we are not passing judgment on you. If this was one of the reasons that you divorced, then that was your decision, and everybody's story is different. Oh, that's why I was saying my non-judging. So we're not judging, because everyone's story is different. Everyone's story is different.
So if you're on your first marriage, your third marriage, it doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with that. Yeah. Everyone has a story, but we're talking mostly about us.
Love is not a feeling. Exactly. Lust is a feeling.
Yes. And so love is what you're willing to do for somebody.
Yes. Yeah. So about, I don't keep track of how long ago it was, but I think we're going on 8 years, 9 years. It's probably as long as we've lived in this house, right? I don't know.
Yes.
But we came to a point in our marriage where most couples would have divorced, and we decided to fight for our marriage, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't like, okay, we're still going to stay together and everything was unicorns and butterflies. We made an agreement that we were going to work hard on this marriage. We were not going to talk about the bad things that had happened, the bad things that we had done. We weren't going to talk about it. We weren't going to
dwell on it. We weren't going to focus on it. We weren't going to bring it up. You know, you get in a fight and you start arguing. You're like, yeah, but 7 months ago, remember you did this? Mm-hmm. That's no good.
Yeah.
Leave it back there.
So we decided, and we were not going to scream and fight in front of our kids. We weren't going to put our kids through that. Now, our number one reason for working on our marriage in the beginning, was our children. I'm going to be straight out. It was our children. A lot of people say you shouldn't do that. For me, I needed a why. I needed a why am I putting myself through this right now? Why am I going through this? Because those 3 kids did not ask for parents to go through this, to get divorced. Why can I say that right?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you straight out, and he'll tell you too. By the way, he has a cough. Just ignore it. I do this. I wait for him to be done.
Or she does like this.
I love him, but it drives me crazy. But I know my foot is driving him crazy, so it's okay.
It drives me a little crazy too.
But I wanted
to
say that I'm going to be completely straight out, and he could say it too, and it doesn't hurt us anymore because we know where we are now. We fell out of love for each other. We really did. And I was nervous. I was scared because I would tell my friends, but I don't feel this love for him anymore. I don't feel that connection. I feel angry with him. I feel mad, and I don't feel like this feeling's going to ever go away. And I had the thought in my head, okay, when my kids are old enough, then I'm going to leave him, and I'm going to do everything I can to take care of me, because it was a wake-up call for me. I was a stay-at-home mom, and he was the one that worked. I need to take care of myself so I could. Those were the thoughts that were going through my head as we were working on this marriage.
Yes.
So I get it when people say that. I get when you say, I just don't love him anymore. So we're going to tell you a little story on what we did. This was a step towards me looking at my husband like I loved him again. And I don't know if it's going to work I'm not telling people to do this. I'm just saying find something you're both passionate about, you both love.
Well, let's get to it.
Let's get to
the story.
I have to preface it, fool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So about, I don't even know how many years. It doesn't even matter. We were going to the gym together. We went to the gym. Gym was a lot of how we released a lot of stress. In other ways, hey, but it wasn't going very well then.
It wasn't going at all.
Yeah, it wasn't going very well the other way, so we relieved it another way. So one of my friends said she was running the LA Marathon, and I said, you are? And she's like, yeah. And I go, you mean a marathon? Like you run 26.2 miles? And I said 26 miles. She goes, yeah. And and you're going to run that whole way? I had only went through 3 miles my whole life. And she goes, yeah. And I just thought about it, and I don't know what it was, and we couldn't afford it because we were poor. We were broker than broke.
And it was only 5 weeks away.
And it was 5 weeks away. And I just felt in my heart, me and Lyndan needed to do something together. He was not working a whole lot at the time. It's just like when it rains, it pours. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And he wasn't working very much. And I looked at the training schedule, and we couldn't even afford it. But I just felt like I needed to do this for my marriage. I felt like we needed to, it was crazy. Yeah. We needed to do something together. So we didn't even look up a training schedule. We just decided, why don't we I did something crazy. we decided we were going to do it. We wrote an email to our friends and family. We're like, you guys know what we're going through right now. You know, we were on the verge of divorce. This is something we want to do. If you guys want to sponsor us, we would so appreciate it, because we really want to do the LA Marathon. We want to run a marathon together. And it was so awesome. As I went to him, I'm like, do you want to do this? And he's like, let's just go for it.
Yeah. Like, how much time do we have? 5 weeks.
Yeah. And so then I got super excited. See, I'm really crazy. When someone tells me, when I decide I'm going to do something, I go full force. I'm not halfway on anything. I don't half-ass anything. Ooh, am I allowed to say that?
Not on Periscope.
I don't do that. So I got on the treadmill and I ran, and I think I ran 5 miles on the treadmill. And I actually went in the bathroom right after, and I got sick. You don't want to know the details. I got super sick because my body wasn't used to that.
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit because
I like it.
Because I have to get to work.
I know.
So basically, we had a ton of people saying, "You guys can't do this. You cannot do this. You only have 5 weeks to train." The longest she'd ever run at once was 3 miles. The longest I'd ever run at once was 5 miles. And excuse me. We had so many naysayers saying, just run around your neighborhood or wait till next year and all these things. Just like in life, when you give people an idea or a goal or something that you want to do, and then you have those people who are like, nah, that's not for you. You're not going to be able to do that. You can't accomplish that. This is what was going on in our world, but we knew we felt it in here, and we knew we needed to do this together. So we pushed through past all the people that said we couldn't do it. Okay.
We had so many people telling us we couldn't do it. So then we decided the day. We had trained for it, and we didn't even know how. We're just like, okay, today we'll run 3 miles. Tomorrow we'll run 5 miles. On the weekend, it was like 8 miles, 10 miles, 12 miles. When we did our first 13-mile run, I came home and I was sobbing. I was sobbing because I thought I was going to die. Lyndan was putting little oranges in my mouth just to get me some sugar. And I'm like, we're not going to do this. I'll do if there's a half, I'll do half. I can't do it, hun. And he's like, we committed to this. We're doing it. So I'm telling you this because in the process of training, we finally got our heads out of all the crap that was going on, everything that was going on, and we were focused on something else. We were focused on a common goal. We were doing this together. It made me fall in love with him again because he was pushing me. He was telling me, you can do this. You can do this. It gave me this different relationship with God. When I was running, God would keep telling me, I don't want you to look at how far you have to go. I want you to look at the steps ahead of you. And that's what the little tiny milestones. What I was putting in my iPod, everything I was listening to at the time, and everything was just this growth that I was becoming more and more in love with my husband and more in love with God at the same time.
And I do want to say something to back, because someone said, ramping up too fast could cause injury. And you're absolutely right. The difference was we were in good shape. We had already been working out for years on a regular basis.
And I was a runner, just not long distance.
Exercise was already part of our routine. So we didn't go like cold from not exercising to running a marathon. We went from exercising 4 to 5 days a week to training for this marathon, which was still too soon, but we didn't start off completely dry.
Yeah. So then the day of the marathon, I told myself it was the LA Marathon. I told myself I am just going to have a good time. And I was nervous as hell. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. There were paramedics all over the place. Yes. And it was in Los Angeles. It was so beautiful that day. It was like this perfect day. Each mile mark had a different ethnicity of LA. Some type of culture. So like the first one was like, it was Indians. And then the second one was, the last one was South Korea. And they banged the drums towards the finish line. It was the most amazing experience. And I took it easy. This fool went cray-cray. He took off. Tell him what happened to you real quick. And we're almost done. We're going to wrap up right here.
So I had a goal in mind. And I ran. I paced myself and I ran. And the first mile, I'm going to make this very short. Within the first mile, about 400 men went off the trail. Like, this is a trail. About 400 guys turned off the trail and they went under this bridge. And I'm like, what in the heck are these guys doing? And they all went pee. 400 people went pee under this bridge, right? So I was like, these guys are dumb. So I ran, and right about mile 8, I had to go pee like nobody's business. And there were cops everywhere. Not that I'm a public urinator or anything, but on that day I would have. And they had porta potties every mile. and cops everywhere. So I put it off as long as I could. I got to mile 15. I hit the halfway mark at 2 hours, which was my goal. I got to 13.1 in 2 miles. Mile 15, I had to go to I couldn't take it anymore. So I get in line to go to the bathroom. Every porta potty, it's like a 25 minute wait. So I waited in line for over.
There's a lot of that. Kiki.
I waited in line for over 20 minutes just to go pee. When I started running again, my knees were like, oh, no, you didn't. And they just closed up and locked. And I was in crazy amounts of pain.
Okay. So let me tell you what happened. Every time we trained, Lyndan was always about 2 miles ahead of me. That's just how we trained. And so I was used to Lyndan being ahead of me. I told him, I don't want you running near me because I feel like you're patronizing me because I know you can run faster. Mm-hmm. And so I always want you ahead of me. So I'm at the finish line. And I hear the drums, the drums just going like these. It was so cool seeing tons of people cheering. All I'm thinking is my husband better be at that finish line. My husband, you like, I had goosebumps. My stomach was just, I was so excited. Hello, Canada.
What's up? We love you too.
So excited. And I'm like, just please let my husband be at that finish line. I do not want to celebrate by myself. So I'm looking around. No joke. I'm looking around and I look next to me. And I see what looks like my husband. He's a black man in a black jacket.
No, I didn't have a jacket on.
Well, whatever. He had a black shirt on. Yeah. That doesn't matter. This little details.
It's a marathon. And, a jacket?
And I see him running like this. And I'm like, that can't be my husband because I have never, ever... I promise you have to have more honey and tea. You have to. Maybe right before we do a Periscope.
How about you be the honey?
Okay. So he was like running. I'm running like that. I'm like, that can't be my husband. That looks like my husband, but that can't be him. So I look up next to him. By the way, you're delirious after running 26 miles. I just want you to know. Yeah. And I look at him and I'm getting this close. Because what if it's not my husband and I'm this close?
She's this close to me. I'm like,
because I'm like, am I really seeing you? You know, because I've never seen you like this. And I go, hon, I'm like, it's me. We're about to run through this finish line together. We're about to run through this finish line together.
Matthew, you got me. Anyway, go ahead.
See, you get too distracted. Stay focused.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. See, they're getting it after we've already said it. Stay focused, love.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're right on point. They're right on time.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, so I'm like this. I'm like, hon, it's me. We're about to run this finish line together. This is exactly what he looked like. We're about to do this together. We're about to do... And then I'm like, grab my hand. And I was just delirious. I was on such a high that you don't understand. I dropped fast after this. Okay, so then we ran the finish line. We ran the finish line together, held hands together, and it was unbelievable.
The last 0.2 miles of the marathon, we ran. Mm-hmm. And it looked like we were sprinting, but then when I saw the picture, there was a couple like old ladies that were in front of us. So we weren't...
I felt like I was sprinting, but we were really going like this.
We were going in slow motion.
Okay, so back to the metaphor of this all.
And we're coming to a close, so I have to leave.
I know, let me finish. I promise we really do get along and we really do love each other, but I just need to finish my thought. Yes, please pray for us. So back to the metaphor of this. This is crazy. For the 5 weeks we trained, Lyndan was always 2 miles ahead of me. Always 2 miles ahead of me. You're going to make me lose my crying, my emotion.
Well, I just want to say, our kids were texting us along the route because they could see where we were. So they would text me, oh, you just passed mile 10. Your mom just passed mile 8. So now you can finish.
So after all this time, I do not find it coincidence that when we hit the marathon and we ran the marathon, the last 26.2 miles, the last 0.2 miles, we end up finishing it together. And that to me was God. That was everything we had gone. This is what we needed. Yes, Kiki had rode, and this is a nightmare to Kiki because she teaches people not to train this way. Yeah. Yes, I am not advising anybody to train for a marathon in 5 weeks. It was stupid, and I'm going to tell you right now, my body is still paying for that. Yeah. Still, till this day. But for us, I would do it all over again because it was something we needed. We needed to do that. And from that experience, I started to fall in love with my husband. Now, that was just one step. There was a lot of steps, and we'll share more of those steps with you guys on other Periscopes because we got a lot of stories. But that was a step towards falling in love with my husband again. So when you hear or when you feel that, when you think that, I don't know what's going on, I just don't feel that same love. I don't feel that same love for my spouse. Do something about it, fools. do something. You
Yes.
can do something. Of course, you're not going to be madly in love with somebody you've lived with and you spend every day with. You're human. You're not going to have that lust motion. Love is an action. It's something you do for each other. It's not something you're going to feel all the time. That's lust. And yes, that's fun to feel, and it's fun to have those butterflies, and those do come back, but not every day. So do something about it. It doesn't have to be a marathon. Although I do have a bucket list that me and Lyndan will do.
Okay, I gotta go.
It's the Great Wall of China Marathon. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Okay. So if you guys have any questions at all, that's our story. Doing something even though Hubs isn't on the same train. Doing something even if he's not on the same page. Is that what you mean?
On the same track?
Yeah.
On the same track?
I appreciate your guys' honesty. Oh, thank you so much.
And
Thank
candor.
you.
Thank you. I was too slow to reply. Thanks, Lyndan. All good. All good.
Yes, please send Lyndan lots of honey and menthol. Or the thing is, he's not doing anything for the cough. I want you guys to know that.
I'm going to have some honey in a little while.
Yeah, I tell him every night, do something. You're going to work. You're not having any honey. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to our... Oh, it's Michael, you guys.
Thank you for listening. If you're not following us, please give us a follow, and we will see you soon.
SWUNV. If you know this,
Honey
you
Cool
are
Butter.
people.
Oh.
Be right here.
Steve song.
Oh, we love Steve.
All right, you guys, have a good day.
Wait. I have to tell him something really quick.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay, so we have, I have to go right now. Lyndan has to go see he really is out. He really has an appointment right now. But I wanted to tell you guys, we have a free boot camp workout that Kiki is not allowed to go on to. And it is at djandrapper.com. And I'd love for you to do it with your spouse. It's 5 days of boot camp workouts. I will coach you through it. Rachel was on there. And I have a bunch of group of people that we met on Periscope that were in the group. I'm going to start the group up again next Monday. Yes, the week of Christmas. I thought that would be a good time. And I'm also going to do a group 5 days before the new year. So it's completely and totally free. You don't have to do anything, nothing at all, but just show up. You don't need weights. You don't need anything. You may need something to step on or something to do dips on. But if you're not going to do it with your spouse, that's okay. Anyone can do it. But go to djandrapper.com. Boot camp workouts. It's free boot camp workouts. You'll get an email that'll send you to a link to my private page. All right. So I will see you guys soon. I'm here all by myself. I could talk about him as much as I want. Anyways, you guys need to DM him and tweet him that he needs to take something for that cough because he doesn't listen to me. All right. Bye, you guys. Steve, you know the song? How do you get in touch? You can tweet me. That's Lyndan and Vanessa. If you want to send an email or a speak pipe, you could go to djandrapper.com. All our contact info is djandrapper.com. Thank you. Kiki knows it. Kiki, you know it better than I do. Oh, my Lord. And we need to talk to you and Steve. We want to talk to you guys about something. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a wonderful Thursday and go find something to fall in love with your spouse again. Does that make sense? All right. Bye.